Greetings, every people. This is your cult personality here, ToonKritic's name, and tunes are the name of my game. Welcome back to Roundtable's Magic, little podcast show where we do the thing with Season 6 and other things in My Little Pony. I am, of course, your host. You know me. I'm the guy with the top hat. So, let's see. I am joined. Wow, I am joined. Oh, God, I botched that up lovely. I am joined by lovely people here. We have Lightning Bliss.
How do you know it's really me?
Are we seriously going to do that? How
do you know it's really me, Mr. ToonKritic?
We have Voice of Reason.
I do have a rant, but I did like this episode.
Oh, great. We have Golden Fox and Keyframe.
Hello.
Hashtag Changeling Lives Matter.
And joining us, our special guest star for this episode, for no good reason.
Hashtag professionalism.
I love how we're all talking about, hey, there might be a changeling among us, when there literally is a changeling among us. So
all I'm thinking right now is that Tom's sketch is like, Ellen, are you a cow? No. Yeah, I am human. Hey, wants to go skateboards?
Oh, so, yeah, today's episode is... Oh, hang on. Yes, person, thank you for following. So, today's episode is called The Times Are Changeling. This is addressing the little thingy that we saw in the premiere with the supposed changeling going to Crystal Empire. So, that answers that question a little earlier than I expected. So, we usually do roundtable rules. We know what we like, what we didn't like. So, we're going to get this started off with... How about we start off with Fox?
Wow.
Yeah, you weren't prepared for that, were you?
No, I wasn't. It's nice to see something a little more expanded than before. I'm only going to leave it at that.
Is that it?
That's it?
I could go on a huge ramble, but I don't want to repeat myself, so who should I pass it off to?
That was real. That must be the shortest what we liked part ever.
I still kind of need an example, so keep going.
Okay, well, let's just say that I've had a history with a certain separate piece of media that Keyframe gets tired of hearing me ramble about.
Oh my god, the comics.
Yes, because when I did a Season 3 review, I gave out suggestions that maybe Chrysalis would return, and then people kept telling me, she returns in the comics, read the comics, and it was an ongoing thing, okay, is it canon or is it not? And I never really got that answer.
Oh, God,
and
yes.
It just became an ongoing phenomenon.
So you're happy that changelings are actually here?
It wasn't that hard. Just make an episode about a single changeling. It just, okay. It took us several years to get that.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah. So I'm just going to shut up at this point. I'm going to pass it off to... I'll pass it off to you. Keyframe.
Yay! No bias there. The thing I liked about the episode, and what I'm liking about the season, is that Spike is on fire. It's like I really liked Spike in Season 4, and then Season 5 he got nothing but poopy episodes when he was the main star. And now he's back in full swing, like Gauntlet of Fire. And now this. And I think this is like a perfect wrap-up to all the mentions of whenever there's the Crystal Empire and him being like, yeah, I'm the hero and everything. This is a good wrap around to show, he still does have the flawed side and everything. And he's not super blind to it and him actually learning. And Spike was just such a really good character in the episode. I love that he got to sing and he sounded good. We don't have the Cloudsdale anthem anymore as a point of reference for his singing ability. And just how he just has such a view of, it's very much like a kid, which I think is such a good balance because he was mature, but he was still a kid in that. Like, when he was explaining, hey, this changeling is actually nice. We can be friends with him. We don't have to hurt him. And then all the adults are laughing around him or being angry because, changelings are bad, stuck in your way sort of thing. And he falters back because that's what a kid does when members of authority have such a harsh, deferring opinion. and you don't want to lose the respect of those people. And him learning how to get over that and actually stick to his principles, I think is something so great for him to learn. And we've seen him learn that in different interpretations before, like inspiration and stuff. But he did I really like how it's done here. Because it's carts before the ponies done right with that kind of storyline of standing up to the adults. And that's what I liked about the episode. I'm going to pass it off to our special guest, FNGR.
Woot, I was actually ready.
Yeah, so one thing you liked.
One thing I liked, Twilight was useful in this episode, and she's had a very bad season. But she has, and that's the whole thing. She didn't overshadow Spike. He got to shine, and then she basically reasserted him. And from her point, it was a domino effect, where I heard some people criticize it, but think about it. The Princess of Friendship opened the way, and then everything kind of delegated on down. It's a patriarchy. Am I saying that right? Matriarchy with the royalty?
Yeah, I think you are.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing the history major couldn't get that. I'm sorry. Yeah. Friendship opens the way, love continues it. Obviously, her husband embraces it. The guards pass on down. I thought it made perfect sense, and I really wanted to say one more thing really quick, but never mind.
All right, who do you pass it on to?
Oh, let's go, voice. I want to hear that rant.
Well, this is what. Okay, it's.
Well, this is stuff we did like.
Yeah.
That's on the.
Oh well, the lightning bliss then, since she's positive.
Oh, okay.
I know a lot of people didn't like it, but for once, it was a song I really enjoyed, and that was Spike. And for once, he actually got a solo song, and yeah.
Oh, he did. Oh, yeah. He finally got his first solo song. He's never gotten a song before, right, guys?
Yeah, that's right, Toon. He's never sung before.
Nope.
And yeah, he's sung before, but it was never like on his own. Really, it's always been like a backup singer or something. But this time, he was on his own. And aside from a couple lazy moments where they looped an animation for the chorus, I really liked it, and I liked the tone. And see, I either like both or one thing about a song, and that's either the lines or the beats. I really liked the beat here. The lines were good at some points, and then it would get cheesy, but I really liked it. It was sympathetic. It was about legs. Sorry. And he was speaking his mind, and that was a great thing to do. And I give kudos for that. And I will pass it up to
Me? All right. So I'm gonna bounce off of what Anthony over here said. Shining Armor and Cadence were also useful, and they weren't incompetent. They had good screen time, they filled the roles with what they were supposed to do, and they didn't look like idiots. And the guards didn't look like idiots either, so I'm just glad that the characters there weren't pointless. I understand that they were probably going to do something with the guards, but at least the guards got something out of it too. I just really liked how the royalty actually acted like frickin' royalty and didn't act like idiots, because I am so sick and tired of seeing like Shining Armor getting like I can't believe I'm using this word, pussified, and Cadence getting nothing to do. But now they're getting something to do, so I'm actually happy that they managed to try something different. What a concept! Actually letting them do what they're supposed to do. So
Actually let Captain of the Royal Guard be the Captain of the Royal Guard.
Exactly! I didn't think it was that hard. So yeah, that's my bit. I'm gonna pass it off to Voice.
Okay, actually, continuing off of what you said, and also what Keyframe said about doing something different and relating to Spike. I like how, like, the idea of that Spike is, he's always this title of Spike the Brave and Glorious. Like, he's the reason he has been brave and glorious because he did these amazing, great things that saved the Crystal Empire twice. Now, once for getting the Crystal Harp to Cadence, and the other time for melting a giant ice cloud crashing into a stadium, saving millions of tens of thousands of ponies' lives.
Mm-hmm.
This conflict I actually really enjoy because it shows Spike's greatness in a different way. He doesn't. It's a way that you don't need to. You don't need to be the person who that charges in head first into a flaming building to prove how great they are, or stop a robbery in progress because you get glory. No, this situation is he does it because it's the right thing to do. And for those who know what I'm talking about, yes, I am quoting the Ratchet and Clank movie. Like, sometimes heroes don't always have to do great things, just the right ones.
Yeah.
God, I want an answer to that.
Yeah, it's like and also it's like just saying like with Spike's character, it's especially like in the beginning of the episode how he was actually trying to disguise himself because he doesn't want to over like shadow them visiting the prince, Cadence, Shining, and Flurry and stuff. It's like he's prideful of like what he does, but he's never a super big ass about it. And I mean, Twilight even reaffirmed saying like, to be fair, you did save this empire twice.
Wanted to say one more thing to that, where you Voice was saying it was the right thing to do. I like the fact that the lesson we get in the entire episode's message isn't necessarily the correct thing. I mean, we don't know down the line if basically giving Thorax that chance was what was best for everybody. I mean, that could be a spy or something like that. It's the fact that we'll have to come back and look at it. I mean, it was the right thing to do, obviously, from a friendship perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, now that I got the mostly positive stuff away, I really enjoyed this episode. It's near perfect. There's only one teensy tiny thing that I didn't like.
I'm getting in the bunker.
Changelings do not work that way! That's mimics!
Hey, Frank Slater all over again.
Here we go.
All right, everybody, just sit back. Let's let the voice go to town.
What's wrong for changelings? Like, changelings cannot change into inanimate objects. That's what mimics do. Okay, I'm good.
What are you basing that off of D&D or what?
D&D, the comics, like just like the mythology of shapeshifters in general.
The fact that he turned into a rock, is that the thing that you're angry about?
Does that count as a nitpick or not? I'm not sure.
I think it's a nitpick, personally.
And it's also been stated that
also because I know Voxels looks sort of angry at you. But again,
as a forward DM, I'm ashamed I don't know the answer.
Well, also because again, they mentioned in comics canon that mimics can change into anything except ponies, and changelings can only change into ponies. But again, comics canon, show canon,
completely different things, Voice. I think.
Comics. Anyway, backwards to Toon. What didn't you like?
Okay.
I just like when I looked over at Golden after you were done with that rant. He looked so disappointed.
Okay, so what did I not like? Okay, now this is probably an opinion that a lot of people have gone with, but as much as I liked the song, as I checked the time limit after the song, I was like, we only have 2 minutes left, and then they just slapped the ending on there. I'm like, well, this is a kid's show. I understand this, but that really felt slapped on. It honestly did, and I'm not saying that's a terrible thing. It's just something that didn't sit well with me, because I did enjoy this episode, and I enjoyed it through, but I heard some people say, oh, I hated this episode, but then the song happened, and then I liked this episode, and I'm like, well, the song shouldn't be the main reason why you overall like this episode. It should be based on your entire feeling of it. So the ending for me just didn't sit well, and maybe that's just me, but you can only do so much in 22 minutes. I understand that, but I've seen things happen very smoothly in 22 minutes. I think there's a certain art to it. I should also mention, the people that wrote this episode, I believe they worked on the Marvel animated shows. That's Michael Vogel, Kevin Burke, and Chris Wyatt.
Well, Mike Vogel is like the VP of product development for Hasbro or something.
Vogel!
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I didn't like. So I'm gonna pass it back to, I believe, yes, Bliss.
Here we go.
They improved a little bit. I admit, they improved a little bit, but then they flopped it up. They got him, flopped it up again. It's the Royal Guard!
What? The Royal Guard was competent this time.
They were competent up until when Spike told them that I befriended a changeling. They did not laugh once. They did not laugh twice. They laughed 3 times. I get it, rule of 3. But my God. The only soldier that made up for the fact that this is not a thing to be laughing at was Shining Armor!
Well,
but why do the other guards have looking competent to make Shining Armor look good? Okay.
Hey, Bliss, your volume is fading in and out. We couldn't really hear you.
Yeah, you got garbled there.
It got garbled at the end, but if I may, like, just a kind of counterpoint to that, because I understand your criticism, but I think the thing is that it was highlighting how different people react to situations that are against what they believe. Because some people, like, if someone told you this, like, one person would be angry because of a personal experience, i.e. Shining Armor, or people would be laughing, being like, that is just such a stupid concept that a changeling could actually be friendly and go against what we all think they are, that sort of thing. So I think it's because the Crystal Ponies have never had an experience with the changelings like Shining Armor did, because Shining Armor has a personal reason to be angry about it.
I don't blame him.
Oh no, I don't blame it at all either. But I think the Royal Guards, the Crystal Guards, getting so laughing about it is because, one, it's from Spike, someone who's experienced the changelings too, and that it's just that concept in and of itself that they probably have had beaten in their heads from Shining Armor, and Cadence and the general idea around changelings is like, one being nice, that's a laugh, that kind of... It's a bitter laugh kind of thing, where it's just kind of like, we're laughing because, no, that's not how it's supposed to be, kind of thing.
Alright. Bliss, did you have anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Pass it back to Anthony.
Alright. The only real complaint I can think of, and it's easily explained away, is that I was talking about this with Brawny, where he made the remark, the ending feels like the moral feels like it's kind of incomplete, and I was like, well, the reason for that is that obviously they're going to come back to this. It's I like the idea that we're not just, this isn't a finite, the word I'm looking for here, how do I pronounce it? Finate?
Finate.
There, I got it. Finate. This isn't a finite thing. This definitely is going to open up the room for continuity. I'm expecting, most likely, this season finale to come back to this, where basically this moral is probably going to be tested. So I don't really see anything, as long as in the long run, everything that might be a problem is probably going to get paid off later. It'll be fixed up. And I was like, yeah, I like the idea that there's a reason to look forward to further episodes. So I don't really have a problem with anything in there. Except for Thorax, the name.
Oh, yeah. So many people thought Thorax was Kevin, and I'm just like, kind of, maybe?
Kevin was smaller.
So we all look alike, do we?
Well, I mean, you're kind of exempt from that rule.
I know.
But...
Well, Anthony, between you and Sketchy, so...
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll start wearing top hats so people can tell us apart.
Oh, did you know? I'm actually half changeling. I can do that too. Oh God, it burns every time I hear that.
What?
No,
I always make fun of ANY.
No. Hey, now I was not saying a.
I'm trying to give you a chance to save some face and take it and move on.
Oh, jeez. All right. Are you done?
Yeah.
All right, Key. What do you got?
Mine is a complaint that can be easily explained away too, in a similar fashion to Anthony's complaint, in that I really wish that we could have because we have an AWOL changeling here, and he does like specifically say like, oh, my queen is evil, and we see how the changelings, when they hatch, they already have this kind of demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to hear like more about why the changelings act this way, if they do have this showing with the example of Thorax, they have the capability to produce love for themselves and giving it to other people. So it's just like I would love to hear like why that's not something, because I mean I would assume the changelings have been around as long as ponies, if not longer, at least as long as Star Swirl was around if we take the comics origin. So it's just like I feel like Chrysalis could know that, or like they would know that, but I would have loved to know a reason why they don't. But and also how he got AWOL and how he escaped and everything, because it's a hive mind. It seems like everyone, when the babies were hatched, they all immediately went to Chrysalis. It's like such a setup for a hive mind and everything, that they're all connected somehow, and with like ink stings and the fact that they're bugs. But I don't complain about that too much, because 22-minute episode, if it focused too much on building the world of the Changeling Kingdom, it would have taken away from the stuff that we did get that were really good. And 2, I feel like there will be a payoff in the finale, because the fact we have an AWOL Changeling, that's going to be noticed by the Hive somehow. And, you know, them coming to the Crystal Empire, which is the epitome of love, that's like a prime place for a changeling invasion. So I feel like we're going to get more insight into that part of why they don't just produce loves themselves, if they have the capability to, once they're actually there and Thorax tries to talk to Queen Chrysalis and stuff. So I feel like they're setting it up for payoff, so I can't really complain too much. It's more of a desire to want more, which is one of the best complaints that someone could have, is that you want more. So that's mine. Golden, off to you.
I pretty much have the same complaint with everybody else about the musical. The song isn't bad, it just felt a little misplaced, and I get that you have a total of 22 minutes, but it would potentially leave a wrong impression to kids that, oh, singing a song will solve all your problems, and it just doesn't seem right to me.
There's been a lot of misplaced songs in the season recently.
You know what would have been cool?
What?
If instead of it just being sung by Spike, there were counterpoints sung by Shining Armor, Cadence, and people who don't believe it, and him. Like it's an argument song, and it actually is a song that has build up. Because my problem with the song was the fact that it ended on such a weak note. I wished it was like him belting "Changeling Can Change."
So basically, the idea is similar to Stop Bats, where like everybody else jumps in.
Yeah. What did you say, Anthony?
I was gonna say like Bats, but the problem with that is it then freaking Spike would have lost. Don't you remember? The good guys lost in that song.
True.
Yeah. I mean, that was against bats, not changelings, just bats.
Just bats.
Which are a lot more menacing and a bigger threat, too, so.
Yes. With an entire... who else would have stuck up for them, really?
Yes.
I don't know.
No.
It was a neat idea, don't get me wrong.
The less we talk about them, the better.
Alright, anyway, continue, Fox.
No, I've had like this silly argument the other day that I would have preferred like having Spike like actually talk to them about it and explain their experiences, but they say like, oh, kids are just going to be too bored, so a musical number will get their attention. I don't fully agree with that, because first of all, this series has come a long way. I mean, this is the 6th season. It's been several years now since the show aired. I think that kids who are watching this are at a much older age. Second of all, kids sometimes have to pay attention to dialogue. They will have to pay attention, a little more attention than just, oh, let's just sing happy, happy musical numbers.
I mean, this wasn't exactly a happy number.
No.
At least in tone.
What would you have suggested? A two-parter, or where would you have taken the time to put that in there? Obviously, something had to come out.
I think parts of the episode where you do have like those moments where Spike is trying to talk to the guards, and they're just laughing it off, thinking how ridiculous it is that Spike is being friends with a changeling. Every now and then, he would like mention things about like how he experienced interacting with the changeling, and no one would believe him.
Oh, so like cut down. So like, cut.
I'm sorry.
Like just once.
What was that
I was
voice?
saying like cut down the laughter to like. I was saying just cut down the laughter to like just once.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because otherwise it kind of feels like you're beaten over the head. Like, okay, we get it. The guards find it ridiculous. They think it's hilarious that somebody is friends with a changeling.
I mean, I think the fact that they were laughing so much is probably what triggered Shining Armor, because his patience would have gone down immediately that they're treating this as a laughing matter when this is the species that pretty much threatened his family and wife.
Now that part I do understand. Like what the issue that Shining Armor has.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, Shining is a very patient character, as we've seen. So him, I think it's like it has to be that level for him of all people to actually be serious. I mean, the last time we saw him, he was like, "Baby, I haven't slept." Da 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 da.
That was pretty funny, though.
I think it would have been a little more interesting if there was something between like Spike and Shining, because Shining is what adds weight to the reason why Thorax was getting like heavily discarded. Like obviously everybody else has a huge bias against Thorax because, well, the past history of the Changeling incident.
The more you say
Right.
Thorax, the more it makes me think that it is a type of laundry detergent.
Am I the only one who doesn't have an issue with that name?
No, I'm just saying it sounds like
I don't
laundry.
have a problem with it.
I don't hate it.
I don't utterly despise it.
There could have
But-
been other names, but, you know.
Like Kevin.
It's not as trite as say, I don't know, pass analysis, but
Whoa, okay,
Not
alright.
fired.
No, the
I
thing
passed.
no,
I'm just screwing around. I love you, Pasta.
Jesus. No, the thing, there's actually something funny about, I was about to say past analysis. Jesus. So past analysis to Changeling, no. Thorax, there was something funny that when he changed into a pony, I imagine him holding up like this piece of paper with the OC is like, this is my OC, Crystal Hoof.
I love the design of the pony that he picked to transform into, because I thought it was really cute. I wish they had a moment where there was actually that pony and they bump into him or something. Because I mean, if this was just something out of his original mind, I wonder if changelings can actually make original disguises. Like they don't have to copy other ponies.
Actually-
Oh my god, you gave me a beautiful idea. You know what he should have turned
Oh
into?
my god.
No.
Sunset Shimmer.
Don't.
Troll.
Don't. Oh my god. The writers and animators probably knew if they did that, they would not hear the end of it. Speaking of
Oh.
characters that aren't in this episode, something that bugged me when I read the original synopsis for this, it said Twilight and Sunburst go to the Crystal Empire to deal with the Changeling spy. Sunburst did jack in this episode, but then Starlight's in this episode. I'm like, oh, what's Starlight gonna do? Starlight does jack. Just
I like my friend Lauren pointed this out during the song sequence, is that when he's singing like "and the darkness turned to light," he gestures towards Starlight and Starlight looks away, and it's just like, yeah, you're not really wanting to talk, are you, Starlight? My friend was having so much fun with that, and me and Lauren are huge Starlight fans, so the fact that we can joke about that is great. But
Thank you.
I didn't notice that gesture until she mentioned it. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah,
that's it.
I noticed that like the first time, and like they were pointing at time. I was like, I see what you did there.
Jesus.
Gosh, Spike, you're never gonna let her let that go, are you?
Nope.
Ugh.
I just hope
Neither
so.
will the fandom. Anyway, so we're at the end of this episode.
Pretty much
How we all
so.
would rank it.
Yes.
I
How
was
would we
going to say
rank
there-
it? No, actually,
I
go
was
ahead,
gonna say
Anthony.
Yeah, there would have been one good funny joke when he changes. You could have get in some cheap jokes in there where like maybe he turns into Flash Sentry. He's like, no, not good enough. Keep changing.
That would have been a great sequence. It's like you change into Flash Sentry. It's like, no,
No,
trust me, you don't want
too
that.
flashy.
Too flashy.
Yeah, too flashy. And it goes to Sunburst, not flashy enough.
Too bland.
Sunset Shimmer, it's just like, freakish.
Huh, deja vu.
Deja vu. It's just like that's one of the best moments that you could do fan pandering is just have them transform into different characters.
Oh, have it be Derpy, because we need Derpy in every episode, right?
I've had enough of derpy pandering.
You and me both.
I didn't think it ever.
Yeah, it's
No, they should have had him turn into Barry Punch and be like, "That's not even a crystal pony, but I've seen her around here." That's like a very selective reference. I would have appreciated that, but no one else would.
I got it.
So where do we rank this episode? We have the ranking chart here. I'm gonna put this at 9. I put this below above No Second Prances because that's the middle episode for me personally. But yeah, this episode wasn't bad. I did enjoy it overall. While I was at Wizard World, kind of just sitting in line waiting for photo op to begin, I kind of just popped it on my phone and just watched the episode. It was good. It was good. It was not a bad episode. Congrats. We don't have a bad Spike episode finally.
Compared to the episodes that we've gotten like before 28 pranks later. So
Yeah.
no, look, as long as no matter what, if they just keep having good Spike episodes like this, we could say season 6 was the season of Spike, and that's something we can't say about previous seasons.
yeah.
That's true.
I'm ranking this. I was deciding on which one I liked more, but I'm going with this. I'm ranking it 4th above Gift of the Mod Pie.
I'm going to put it at number 6.
I put it at 5.
All right.
It doesn't break top 5, but I do really like this episode.
All right. So we are at the end of this. Join us next week. Actually, I should probably say next week is PhillyCon, and me and Voice will not be here, so there will not be a Roundtable's Magic with the usual crew on the next episode. We're going to actually be doing it live at PhillyCon. Well, not at a panel live, but at least with the video. I believe Finn the Pony and Manga Common will be joining us, and Sega Sister. I almost forgot. Derp.
Do you have a backup for Finn?
Yes, actually, we do. So.
Yeah, but no, it's like, gosh, well, you're abandoning us. I guess we're not good enough.
Oh, wait.
Oh, come
You're
on.
not like we're not going to do.
Well, they're at PhillyCon, so they're going to have it there.
They want to do a live one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what a cop out!
Oh, come on!
Wow.
I did this podcast so that I could cover season 6.
It's okay, young one.
You know what, Goldie? If you got nothing to do that week, I know another podcast that would.
Wow. Look
There
at
is
you.
Golden
Yeah.
Fox.
Oh, for no
And his
good
lovely
reason.
girlfriend. Yes, she's invited too.
Oh, for no good reason. Are you talking about King of Limbo that's on the channel, youtube.com/for no good reason?
Oh my God! Why, yes, it is.
Oh my fucking.
Plug.
There are more plugs in this than an old lady's scalp.
Wow. Okay.
Well, if you're gonna toss me such a softball, I'm not gonna knock it out of the park. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's not like the King of Limbo podcast has had such a big guest as like Animated James and Crown Prince.
Yep. 2K LDM.
And Toucan LDM.
Yes.
Fair enough. All right.
And
You're
Jeff.
just so salty right now.
Well, as long as there isn't another Operation Roundtable, that's fine by me. So.
Woot.
Well, Ninja's too busy playing Overwatch to do it again.
Yeah, that's true.
I do your key friend.
From what I heard, a lot of people enjoyed the Operation Roundtable thing, but it was a one-time thing, so.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what you said.
So, now they're at the end of this. Yes, join us when we do the next episode from PhillyCon. That'll be a fun little experience. That episode is called Dungeons and Discords. I'm not going to say anything about it because the title should speak for itself. Anyway.
Yeah, ToonKritic's. Is KP gonna be a special guest for the Discord episode?
No.
No.
I don't think she's even going.
No, first off, she's not even going. Second, why would she have an interest in this podcast?
I just said it was the obligatory comment because something that had Discord's name in it.
That is true, but I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. I'm going to stay far away from it, and I'm just going to do my own thing. Voice, we're good, right?
I just realized something. I could add this to my season 6 playlist. I could do the Golden Fox move.
Okay.
Thank you all for joining us.
I was like, damn it, I have to cover this episode. Wait a minute, I did cover this episode.
That's true. So you found a way out of it. All right. So, as always, if you'd like to be notified whenever you see these on Twitch, we do these on Sundays. Go ahead and click that watch button below. That lets you know whenever I do these streams. I do them Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And Key, if they've made it this far, what should they put down in the comments?
Hashtag Limbo versus Roundtable.
Really?
Ooh. Say it.
That'd be a very interesting, debate.
We'll miss you next week, Toon. We're having DWK on.
And remember, everyone, changelings can change everything except the channel. Good night.
And if you I got a perfect line to go us out on. And if I can change, and you could change, then we can all change.
wait, I got a better one. If a dog and a dolphin can get along, then why can't our dad and his mom?
What?
I know what that's from. Freaking Nostalgia Critic. Really, it's bad enough that everyone thinks that the analysis community just rips off Nostalgia Critic. Come on, voice.
I'm sorry, I had to go along with.
At least he's doing Nostalgia Critic and not Linkara, so he's expanding
Oh.
this one. Love you, Boise.
Anyway, thank you for making it this far. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Stay awesome.
Woo!